things racing and Jesus with your hosts, Daniel Hillian and Mitch Reynolds.
What up, what up, what up? It is episode 56, and this is going to be a hot one. It's kind of our mid-season recap review, but around the table here in the RITR studios across the table from me, the Rocket, Mitchell Reynolds. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Ready for this mid-season recap. Hot off Loretta's. A good little trip up to Tennessee, then Kentucky for me to relive a little glory days, if you will, sharing memories and a celebration of life there at the Epleys. What a good time to see Cody Kullum-Schmidt and Daniel Epley, some of my Kentucky racing friends. But, you know, you just think of all the people that racing connects you with, and then when you get to, you know, I mean, funerals are sad things, but it was a celebration of life, baby. If it weren't for racing, wouldn't have special relationships and stuff like that.
That's
so,
right.
Cool
I'm
stuff.
with you. So down at the end of the table, the bookend, if you will, return co-host. You're kind of every other one here, but it's Landon Williams. What's up?
What's up, man? Just coming off from Loretta's, you know. Got to make the trip myself. So.
Went to Loretta's. Such a good time. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about some Midwest racing. We're going to talk about some EDT racing. Some plans coming up. I mean, we're running a loose ship here tonight for episode.
It's just the way we like it.
56. Any good 50? You know any 56s? It was Doug Gust last week. Any good 56s? I can't think of it.
56s.
I was thinking there's a super mini guy, but I think he's 57. I gotta look it up.
Dial.
Waylon Dial.
Waylon Dial is 57.
He's 57. So Waylon, we got your episode
He'll be
coming
your
up.
next one.
Yeah.
I
don't know of any 56.
I don't know of a 56.
I'm sure somebody's ran it, but
Yeah, I just remember in junior high football there was a kid. His name was Danny. And he was a few French fries short of a Happy Meal, and he was I'm trying to be nice. Anyways, when people sometimes
few French fries short of a Happy Meal.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
Yeah, bless his heart. But you know how your name is Mitchell.
Yes.
But people call you Mitch.
Correct.
Or Lando, well, Daniel, it's either Dan or Danny. You know, when people call me, and it doesn't happen often, but if people call me Danny, my skin will crawl because I think of this guy.
you got something new to get under his skin
And
now.
he was number 56 in junior high football.
Danny.
And he was in my mom's third grade class. We went to school, all through school together. Now I think he's a truck driver and has some of the sickest sleeve tattoos I've ever seen. And he was just a meathead. I remember in high school, he played ball all through high school and was really good because all he did was pump iron, play video games, play football. And you'd be like, hey, man, what's up? And he'd be like, hey, man. I mean, an absolute meathead.
A meathead.
Yeah. Danny.
Few fries short of a Happy Meal.
Yeah, he was.
Poor Danny.
Bless his heart, man.
Poor
nice
Danny.
guy. I mean, nice guy, but he ain't coming over for dinner. He'd never leave. Anyways, he's the only 50. So if you are a 56, drop us a message, send us a picture of your number plate. Let us know. I'm sorry. I don't know of any 56s.
Yep.
So, anyways.
Well, there we go. This is the Danny episode.
Oh boy. No, it's not. No, it's not.
We're already off the rails.
Oh boy.
Oh, sorry, that was the wrong button. There we go.
Definitely
That's the
seems
button.
like a Danny episode now.
That's the button I was looking for.
Speaking, we might not even have any fries in our Happy Meal.
Oh man. Well, let's just kind of go with what's fresh, man.
Hey, let's hit those sponsors real quick, bro.
Let's hit them up. As always, off the top.
We're gonna go with that.
88 Live to Ride. Dude, so we got to, I know you have known Miss Debbie for a long time and have been able to go to the auction. This was my first time to go to the 88 Live to Ride auction. Landon's first time. Dude, so cool.
Very cool, huh?
So cool just to see the people show up with just all kinds of giveaways and different things going, hey, here, take this, sell it. A Dustin Wimmer signed Shadow Box jersey went for $2,500.
That's cool.
They had a die-cast Yamaha foiler that had the Team USA graphics on it, $1,000, you know.
Yep.
Signed by Bryce Ford and Joel and Brandon.
Yeah. Oh, it was. Yeah.
So,
it was signed by Team USA.
And then there was some things like generators. There was
Yeah.
a big inverter generator. We bought the little smaller one, the little 2200 Yamaha. So pretty
Nice.
excited about that for the camper. The Stasic, the team USA Stasic, we bought that as well. So Remy was pumped about that.
Yeah.
But Miss Debbie, she was like, I just wasn't sure if we had enough stuff this year.
Yeah.
And by
she
the way,
looked stressed. I hugged her at one point. And I said, "Hey, this is going to be awesome." She said, and I said, "No, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun."
It did. It all worked out well.
Yep.
Raised I think close to $43,000. So just incredible.
Awesome.
And
Awesome.
I want to say thanks to Canebrake Racing,
Yeah.
to Sofa Brand, to 110% Nutrition,
Phoenix
for
Handlebars.
Phoenix Handlebars. These guys that are partnered with us were like more than happy to step up and put a package together, immediately put stuff in the mail to send out for the auction. And really, really thank you guys for doing that, for stepping up with us and helping support 88 Live to Ride, which is a great, great thing. It's poured right back in the community. And another great thing they're doing up there, and actually when I was up there last time, they took me to Matt's place. Yeah. So it's this local thing. It's a sportsman's area that I think's been there since the 50s, and it just had grown up and really
And by
been.
sportsman area, you mean like it's a piece of property?
It is a piece of property. Let's say there's like a cabin there, a pond, a shooting range, and different things like that had just really been run down. But 88 Live to Ride is in the process of rebuilding that. The pond, they expanded the pond. They've already had a fishing derby there. Redoing the clubhouse. It really is looking good. Jody was walking me around and all the things they're doing there. But just another thing that 88 Live to Ride is doing to pour back in the community. And while that's not the racing community, that's their local community. Yeah. And it's cool to just see, one cool thing after another being done through 88 Live to Ride. So all those that supported, thank you.
Yeah, it went really, really well. And like I said, you reached out to Kenny and to AJ. I reached out to Austin and Jason. They were like, absolutely. And Jason, he said, I'll have you a box in the mail tomorrow, and showed up. Austin said, hey, just so you don't lose it or whatever, I'm going to email you print these off, put them in the pack, whatever you need, man. So big thank you to those guys. So we'll shout them out as well. But 88 Live to Ride, loved Miss Debbie. Always good to hang out with her. And she's just so kind. Like, she's just the nicest person ever. Ryland Johnson, RJR, All Terrain Motorsports, our man. Kevin Allen Cleveland over there. What a guy. Speaking of 110% nutrition, you could use our code REMAIN at checkout to save. Some folks, so did you get some powder?
I have ordered some recently. Yeah.
Yeah. I got to get some more. I'm about out of.
I've got to restock on aminos though.
Yep.
But I just finished some protein and opened a new one this morning, by the way. So,
nice.
yeah.
I know.
But if you're asking, did I bid on the protein that was there?
Yeah.
Yes. I did not win it though.
I did too. I bid on it. I didn't win either. But I love in my fanny pack when I ride the cross country, with the other men in the ATV motorsports world. I like to put the aminos in
your fanny pack is not as nice as the fanny pack that I've worn though.
That is true. I'll give you that. Yours definitely has some pizzazz. Yeah,
you get your attention.
That fanny pack has some Riz, no cap, for sure. Mine is pretty
I don't even
mid.
know what he just said.
Mine's pretty mid. But anyways, 110% nutrition, use our code REMAIN. Phoenix Handlebars, use our code RITR15 to save. By the way, Braxton Rhodes has ordered a set, and they are coming, and I haven't heard if he hadn't rode on them yet. Maybe.
Ricky Roo Racing. Yeah,
Ricky
baby.
Roo.
Gonna get those Phoenix handlebars on there.
Who was the guy that went in the pond right there in front of us at Loretta's? Ulrich?
By the way,
Ulrich.
Adam
oh, man.
Running Phoenix handlebars.
Where was that water?
So
I
the
saw
sand
the picture.
sand section right before.
Yeah, I know. It's like kind of on the back side. It's on the opposite side from the starting
road.
line.
I think they call it like the Tunnel of Love, and then goes off into the sand.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Tunnels of Love.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Where was he at?
I mean, we didn't stay in the cozy cabins, but I don't remember no Tunnels of Love. But it's right over there by the road.
Okay.
If you're familiar with Loretta's,
I was just wondering how that water got there. I mean, that was a pond that they have there.
That's the pond they're pumping out of to fill the trucks.
There we go.
And that's what Ulrich, he just kind of got a little squirrely in the sand and was like, oh, I'm just going to cruise in the grass. And that water was, tractor me. and he's like sunk.
Oh,
They had to winch him out.
oh,
with two utility
Two sides,
quads.
yeah.
Oh.
And he's just standing there, and he gassed at one time, and it's just two Wooster tails. You know, I had a friend that used to say Wooster tails.
Was
And
that
just
Danny?
No, it definitely. I didn't hang out with Danny. Anyways, so for Brand MX RTRP, love it. Love being able to. The leggings inside are great. You can zip it up the back, put your knee pads on. It's fantastic. PH3 photo and video. You can go to his website, or no, I'm not sorry, not his website. His YouTube channel, and you can watch the live episode we did at
54 at Pine Lake.
Ashtabula. Yeah. So go check it out. Kaiser Wheels, Canebrake Racing, cause for concern. I think there may be some cause for concerns. Is that what we're doing?
That's what I've heard. Some
Okay.
Canebrake cause for concern.
Kenny, if
Maybe
you
coming
don't like
up
it,
in
let
just
us
a little
know.
bit.
Yeah.
I like that.
Dragon Race Fuels, man. Super pumped for this one. Yeah, Eric, I'm pretty sure Eric said he was going to send me a barrel for free. So maybe not. I might have slept on that. But hey, Eric, if you want to send it, I'll get you my address. No problem. Close Encounter Whitetail Outfitters. I have gotten numerous texts from people going, hey, what's the code so we can save?
So
And I said,
we're working on that.
well, I think just call Eric. Just reach out to Eric and y'all can
And
work something
say,
out.
hey, listen, we know
Yeah.
the RITR guys.
Yeah.
And they might even charge you a little more. I'm not sure.
Probably so.
What, you listen to that podcast? Oh, that'd be 10 grand. You know, I don't know what it costs. Anyways, man, thank you to all the guys that make it possible for us. You know, our wives, spouses, moms and dads, all the people that make it go around. It's been good.
Yes, indeed.
So right off the top, Loretta's. We've kind of planned on, hey, we're going to go. Was going to go together, and then it's like, hey, the whole family's going, and then, you know, with Epley passing away, it's kind of like, hey, we got to go up here, and so then I reached out to Landon. I said, hey, man, I know you're off on Fridays. I'm off on Fridays. You want to ride along? And he said, well, what's the deal? And I said, well, we're going to drive up Friday, watch practice, be part of the auction Saturday. As soon as Pro Moto 2 is over, you know, I'm coming home because I got a busy week of stuff going on. And he said, yeah, sounds good. And so we're eating dinner Tuesday night, and he goes, hey, you mind making a little detour? And I said, yeah. I said, I have no plans Friday and Saturday. Just get to Loretta's before the auction, be home Saturday night.
Well, there was something else before the auction was going to take place. But go ahead. Yes.
And so he says, hey, man, I bought some wheels for my truck. And I said, okay, that's fine. And he said, they're down here in Mississippi. And I'm thinking like Olive Branch, you know, like right outside. Oh, no. We went to the heart of Mississippi. And, of course, Emily's like, hey, I don't know who this is. Get him to meet you in a public place, you know, all this other stuff. Nah, we went down the backest of back roads.
I jump out, just go up, talk
jump
to the
out.
guy.
Hey, man, what's – and I'm just sitting in the truck like, I will leave you so fast, Lane. If this goes south, this Duramax is out of here. Super nice guy. He actually grew up like close to where we live here,
Wow.
you know, kind of a couple exits down. And he had this wild story. I kept going, so how'd you end up in Mississippi? And he's like, it was nuts because it circled back to mayonnaise sandwiches. And I'm like, so what brought you to Mississippi? And he said, house fire. And I'm like, why did you move here? And I don't know if he couldn't hear. I don't know if he was plastered on Friday morning at 10 a.m. I have no idea. No idea why this guy moved to Mississippi. I don't know if he's running from the law, if he's under, you know.
A house fire and a mayonnaise sandwich.
Yeah,
That's all we have of this
real
story.
Odd conversation. And
So did we make the exchange? We
We
got
did.
the tires, the
Wheels?
wheels.
Yeah.
got the
You're
tires and
still
wheels,
alive.
and we're still alive to
Yeah.
talk about it today and learn that people eat mayonnaise sandwiches. I guess I've never.
We
tried
got
one.
in the truck, and
I've
I
heard of
told
the
Landon,
mayonnaise
I
sandwich
said, no
before.
one in their life is eating a mayonnaise sandwich.
You can put
And-
cheese on that mayonnaise sandwich.
And
No.
my mom goes, oh, your Uncle Rob used to eat them all the time. And I'm like, well, Uncle Rob and this cat probably was hanging out together. I guarantee
Yeah,
you that.
Danny was definitely their friend too.
Yeah. Yeah.
He brought his partial happy meal.
Poor Danny.
Poor Danny. Yeah, what a guy. Anyway, so we got the wheels. We got to the track. Dude. And so here's the deal. I've never been to Loretta's. Never.
Well, until you have now,
I have now.
prior to this past weekend.
And this whole time, like I've seen videos. I've watched the amateur national stuff before. I've watched the pro motos there that they used to do. And I just assumed this was just a massive facility in the middle of a field. And dude, the track is literally like the flattest part for 100 square miles. Like there's nowhere else that's flat as where that track is.
Right.
And to see, they were talking. You said that some of the dirt bike guys a couple weeks ago had a mile ride from their pit to the start line.
Yeah.
And we took the side by side out Saturday. Sorry, it's out of the gas.
It's fine.
And we went and looked, and I was like, oh my goodness, like the facility is huge.
Yes, it is.
So, I mean, really a cool place that opens it up to the motorsports world to come and hang out. It was super cool.
Yeah, on the way there, he's like, yeah, man, it looks really flat. And I was like, no, man, I've done some GNCCs and just some local cross countries. It's not flat whatsoever.
No.
And the woods are
not even
absolutely terrible, but
Yeah.
that's beside the point.
Yeah, Landon's like, yeah, the woods races here are awful. And so we kind of might have took a little detour too. And I was like, yep, I could see where this would be bad. But anyway, really, I mean, it was awesome. Stayed in the cozy cabin. It was great.
Up at the top of the hill, cozy cabin.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
got me in
Loved
there.
it. I owe someone money. Do
Yeah,
I owe you?
I'm not sure. I'll let y'all know on that.
Yeah.
Invoice me.
Supposed to
Yeah.
write a check on that, but
Whoever we owe for the cabin. Just
thank you, Renco Properties LLC, probably.
nice.
So thank you.
I get you a dumpster.
All right.
I know a guy.
Good night.
But yeah, dude, super, 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 super cool. I just didn't realize, like, I've been to one GNCC and I mean, people turn out for them GNCCs, but it's also kind of, I guess, a little bit deceiving because the dirt bikes and the four-wheel, like, they all park in the same pit at the same time.
Yeah. Okay.
So when you
All right.
roll up to like Ironman, there's people parked on 40 acres or
Right.
more. And then there's a place across the road that people are parked as well. And it's like, oh my goodness. But this weekend was all four-wheelers. They're down by the creek. They're up on the hill. I mean, they're just everywhere. And I'm like, this is awesome. This is so cool to see, this many people turn out. And I even told Landon, I said, and I still feel like we're missing some because I'm thinking there's probably some guys that are, like I was thinking of Aaron Salinas. I didn't see Aaron Salinas.
Yeah, Aaron wasn't there.
But, I'm thinking, well, if you got hurt earlier in the season or if you're not really in the points battle for whatever, and say you live in North PA, well, that's a long haul to, west of Nashville, you know? So, hey, we'll set this one out and regroup for next season, So, man, I loved it though. It was so cool getting to see and to see the tower, the 88 Live to Ride tower out there in the middle. That was super cool. I was gonna just help myself to the very top, and just never got over there to it. Thinking back, I was like, that was my whole goal. I was like, I'm getting in that thing before this is over.
Didn't go in. Didn't get the experience.
Never even went over.
Really
there.
cool.
Got to watch in a couple of different places, and if all motocross tracks were like Loretta's, still don't want to do it. There were some jumps.
There was some hesitancy there.
Yeah.
Though. Well, he's coming to the bright side, Landon. He's
I was
thinking
asking him,
about
I
it.
was like, Danny, you do that jump, right?
No.
He's like, I would roll over it.
Yeah.
My tires might leave the ground.
Maybe if somebody drug me over, I was like, you got it.
Yeah.
All good.
If somebody gave me a full there and put a helmet on my head, I might do it.
Absolutely.
We'll see.
It was super cool though, and to see some of these guys do so. But there was one guy, my guy, new favorite rider.
All right,
Dude,
got a new favorite.
914 Joseph Chambers was hitting a jump that no one else on the planet was. It was not faster at all, but it was sick.
I think it was faster.
And
honestly.
He was leaned back on that thing all the way on the back of the machine. Does he still have long hair?
Oh,
The
yeah.
long hair flowing
Oh.
out.
Yeah, flowing.
Joey
Sick.
Chambers hangs off the back of that thing. He'll
Dude.
send it to.
And so there's a kind of a, as you're coming to the finish line right by the tower, there's
It's right before the big sand turn.
yeah. Okay.
there's two tabletops. Well, one's kind of a little step up tabletop, and the other one is just a little. It's kind of a single with a really long landing.
Okay.
And most guys, would do the little step up tabletop, and then when they'd come up to this next jump and just kind of check up a little bit, because you could over jump it really easy.
Yeah.
And then there was a little, kind of like a little braking bump going into the sand. And dude, Joey was sending it into the sand.
Yeah.
And I was just like, like I'm grabbing people I don't even know. I'm like, dude, what's 914? And dude, he was just, and no one else was doing it. And I'm like, that is awesome. I don't know if it's any faster. I mean, it looks sick.
But it was good. wasn't it?
Oh man, I would never do that if my life depended on it. I don't care how much, but I'm not doing that. But it was awesome.
Yeah. You're
It
like, I'm
was so
safe and
cool.
secure in Jesus' arms. There's no need for me to risk that.
Nope.
I'll go
The thing
meet him
about that
today.
jump though is it completely blind. So I mean, dude was just sending it.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Just laying into it.
And right after the start finish, there's a little tabletop in the corner right before the tunnel to go to the tower right there.
Yes.
And when we first walked up there, I think it was Super Minis were doing their practice or whatever. And to jump and turn, I'm out.
Yeah.
Now, if jumps are straight, I'm okay, that's fine. But these dudes are jumping and kicking it sideways in the air, and I'm just like, I'm out.
Those are the funnest, though.
No,
I mean,
they're
they are
not.
a little sketchy at first, but like a little hip type
No, they're
deal.
not
You
fun.
put a little English in it as you come off the face.
No English.
Yeah, we
Pretty
may
cool.
have snuck into the Scores Tower, I think that
Oh,
was.
for sure.
Right where the finish line is.
Yeah.
We went up on the little tower there during practice, and
Yeah.
that's you could really see them whipping it. It's neat.
No, it was
But
terrifying.
but
I was
to watch some
scared.
Super Minis do it, I was like, man, that's cool.
That's good. Oh, dude.
I was
Isn't it
pumped for
incredible?
them.
Yeah.
I was like, that young lady on that 70 is way more manly than I'll ever be, and I'm fine with that. I'm pretty confident in it. But there's a double going into Storyland. Is that right? That they were tripling.
Yeah.
And we were standing there on Friday night, and Brandon was doing instead of doing a track walk, there's a kind of a little spot where he could stand and talk and tell a lot of the amateur guys hey, if you're doing this. And he said, and in the triple, if you want to do it, just make sure you get a good run, just totally nonchalant. And I'm like, oh, this must be a little triple. And it's not a little triple. And I'm just like, Brandon, you're going to get these kids killed. And sure enough, dude, some of them are just, and just sending it. And I'm like, what is wrong with these people?
That's funny, like nonchalant.
Yeah, Brandon's
no big deal.
and he's like, hey, just nice, easy throttle when you're going through the 10 Commandments. And if you want to triple out, just make sure you get a good run. And then some other little kid's like, yeah, when I hit it on my 60, I'm just bad at it. And I'm just like, what is? They're all got carbon monoxide. They've been sniffing MR12 or Dragon or something. I don't know, but motocross people are weird.
oh
different.
my gosh.
I like
love
them.
it.
I'm here for it, but I ain't doing it. But I could do the 10 Commandments, no problem. Sign me up. I could double.
So wait,
I
he's
could
gonna
do the
he's gonna
double.
hit the 10 Commandments. He's gonna do
Yeah.
the double, but he's not sending the triple.
I'm not tripling out.
Like Brandon said, you just gotta just get in throttle pretty good. Just
That's
hang
what
on.
he said. He said, yeah, just get in a good rhythm. Don't be too aggressive on the throttle. And I'm just like, or skip it, go around.
Is there an option? Is there an option lying around this?
Yeah.
Oh, dang
But
it.
that triple, and it's just, there's nothing like being at and we've said this before, there's nothing like being at the races.
That's
and
right.
watching Wesley Wolf come through the roughest sand section I've ever. We've got there used to be a cross country race close to us that was right off the river and would get whooped out and just rough as all get out. And I don't think it was tough, but this sand section at Loretta's was probably tougher than that. And to watch Joel just pick his way through there, pop, 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 wheel tap a little, and he's in and out before you can blink. And then to watch some of the other guys, kind of get crazy. Wesley Wolf got bull in a China cat. Wesley Wolf is my spirit animal, man. He was just pounding it through. He never took the right line once. And just I'm bulldozer. Sand's flying everywhere. He got sideways one time and just this wall of sand just drowned 50 people. It was we're all cheering. Yeah, man, it was great. But I don't know.
You're just like, hang on to it, boy. Hang on to it.
and it's like, I don't know how many calories Joel or Bryce or Brandon burned in a race, but Wesley Wolf burned double because he worked that much harder.
He does work a lot out there.
And
he is working that machine.
And it's like watching you because he's all over it.
All over it.
Yes. But usually his head, he's always focused. It's not like he's reckless. It's just like he's not a reckless rider, but he could wreck at any second, any moment.
I'm with you. He moves around a lot. There's not a lot of finesse. He just manhandles the machine, if you will. Just holds it open. And just
all 140 pounds of it.
Manhandles it as much as he can.
Yeah, dude, but it was so cool just to be right there and watch those guys, and then stroll over to the pits, talk to Brandon. Hey man, what's up? Oh, doing pretty good. And it was cool. I loved it. There's nothing better than being at the races. It was
absolutely
great.
Good time. And one thing that we got to experience. That's the best thing I've ever experienced at the races.
It was.
Got to do those baptisms. 24 baptisms at Loretta's down there in the creek, man.
It was awesome.
That was just it was a phenomenal experience. To to the guys, Dwayne, Eric, Jason, that have really been heading up the Motochurch over there that we highlighted in episode 55. Man, it just turned out phenomenal. Got out there with Dwayne and got to baptize people, and it was just a surreal experience and really, 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 really awesome. So
it was. I mean, I loved it, and the one thing that was cool was getting to watch Eric baptize his own son. You know, and I'm sitting there, and I'm glad I had glasses on, because the whole time I'm just thinking like, hopefully one day I get to do that with my son, and dude, it was just cool. And Dwayne, he had kind of a story with each of whoever it was coming down, and it was funny because I was trying to motion to you like, hey, when you baptize them, like hold their nose. That way they can hold on to your arm. That way you can pull and put another hand on their back to kind of push and pull. And I was trying to, and y'all were just pushing them down, jumping off the top rope, John Cena. No, I'm kidding. It was really, really a cool moment. And then we get done doing everybody, and so we're kind of walking off, and then someone else walked up, and it's like, come on down. It was really cool just to be a part of that. And so, I mean, when I got home, Emily, like my whole crew's in bed, and I'm like, guys, guess what? And they're like, just tell us tomorrow. I'm like, I can't wait. This is super cool. So
super, super cool.
It was really, really an awesome experience. And so thank you to those guys for letting us be a part of it, man. It was
Absolutely. Do appreciate all that they're doing, and what a cool experience. So how about some EDT racing?
Yeah,
in the MX world, I love it. I enjoy it. Loretta's was a good time.
It was.
But let's get a little EDT update. What's the mid-season pulse here, if you will?
Well, I'm pulling it up here on my computer. I kind of wanted to look at the points. I know not this. So today is Wednesday, August the 14th.
Right.
So not this weekend, but next weekend is rounds 9 and 10 from Benton, Missouri. And so if you remember back a year ago, this thing got rained out. It was a pond. And so it was like jet ski racing. So hoping that doesn't happen. And they ended up moving it to later in September. But yeah, man, Midwest Racing is we finished at Soxton was the last round. So we've had not quite 2 months off, a solid month and a couple of weeks, from 4th of July to the end of August here. But man, I think it's from what I hear, the pulse I'm getting, I think it's going to be a good turnout. It's a not too terrible of a drive for a lot of folks being there in kind of the southeastish part of Missouri. So I'm thinking it's gonna be good, but I did want to kind of look at the points and see where things are shaking
second,
out.
third, and fourth place we're at.
Hey, Pro Light, our very own Landon Williams, second place.
Yeah. Pro Light.
Need to move up one spot, but
well,
got some work to do.
Got some work to do.
The Flying Ryan's probably sitting in that number one spot right now.
Yeah, Ryan's sitting up there rubbing his hands together, going,
I got to figure out something. That's what me and
Come
Daniel
and
was
get it.
actually talking about on the way back. I can't remember. I got to do something other than screaming. I think I figure.
You remember at Tennessee, Landon, the old cross country trick is yell at people.
Yes.
And it scared Ryan in the heat race, and so that's what Landon's like. Well, I've yelled at him, like I got to somehow get an edge on this kid because he's good.
I figure Nick's probably been just like put like one of those intercom systems in his helmet,
Been
just
yelling at him.
You go ride 20 laps, and I'm just gonna scream at you the whole time.
Yeah.
So I got to figure out.
They figured out a strategy.
Yeah, I got to figure out something else to just rattle him,
So,
But
well, good luck.
Yeah,
good luck
good luck.
figuring out that
Good
boy.
luck.
That boy is a good rider.
he is that. He is that.
I wanted to look here. Okay, so this is points after Saxton. So this is after rounds 7 and 8. In our Open Pro class. Sorry, it's Pro Open. It used to be Open Pro, but now it's Pro Open. Anyway, CJ has a 1 point lead over Garrett.
A 1 point lead.
254 to 253. Yeah, according to this.
Wow.
Of course, super mini and shifter classes where I live, man. I'm all about it. I say our boy. They're all our boy. I love all these guys. They're all phenomenal riders. But Connor Cleveland is at 349, and one Dallas Martin is at 337. So Connor's definitely going to have to keep.
And we got some good battles going on
Yeah,
right
that's
here.
for sure. That is for sure. Let me keep scrolling down here. Super mini. Oh, that's not right.
So what do we have left? We've got at the Midwest. We got 2 Benton races,
And then 2 in Indiana.
2 Indiana
Osgood,
races.
Indiana. Yeah.
The
1st of
East-
September.
East versus West.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I think is it not that anymore?
I just hadn't seen it promoted. I mean, that's what it's been. That's what they've done in the past.
the Midwest versus the Midwest.
Yeah. So
So,
West
all right,
versus West.
what are your predictions for this as we come down this final stretch of Midwest? What are you boys' bold predictions? What are we going to see happen?
Plus 25 class. One Landon Williams has a 200-point lead, so I'm going to go with he's going to get that one.
We're going to
Yep.
have a Midwest
Yep.
MWEDT champion in our presence. Plus 25 MWEDT champion.
If things can keep going the way they are, I think we got a good shot at it.
I like it. I like the confidence. What else? What else, gentlemen?
Dude, there's some good racing like that Open B. Oh man, the Laney Moore, Jack Smith, Logan Moore,
Yeah,
Braxton Rhodes,
That's
Bailey
a stacked
Thomas.
class too.
Dude, that's a fun one to watch too. That it's 1424. All those same guys are mixed in there too. You mix in Parker Guan, who can jump in there as well. And that's fun. Super mini shifter. Of course, I'm always here for that. You can never sleep on open sea. It's open sea, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You could die if you slept in that one.
But hey, the points are pretty tight, and pro as well. CJ at 257 and Garrett at 227. So a 30-point
just
little cushion there.
One slip up and
Yeah, and that's the thing with the races being double on both it's 2 rounds in one weekend.
Yeah.
Like you can gain a lot or you can lose a lot. And I know going into Indiana last year, dude, Garrett cleaned house. I mean, pro-am, both pro classes, like he was.
So I'm hearing Super D does have confidence in Garrett. So I'm hearing we're thinking a repeat from last year. So these points right here down to the wire might be pretty close is what I'm hearing. So Super Mini, I'm feeling the same thing. I mean, you read it; those points are close. I think that one's going to come down the wire.
Mhm.
And
I hope
Connor
so.
and Dallas, I think it's going to come down to the last race
Yep.
at Indiana to decide who's number 1,
That'd be
who's
sweet.
number 2. So
and that is a East versus West. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
there you go. That
Yeah.
could be the picture. North
Yeah.
Carolina versus Arkansas.
I was about to say, because for some reason I was thinking Dallas is in Tennessee, but he's not. He's
No,
in
he's
North Carolina.
He's,
Carolina boy.
he's a North Carolina.
EDT guy. NE-EDT
A neat guy.
Neat guy.
A neat guy.
Well, as far as like predictions, man, Garrett and CJ are just. I mean, they're next level. I mean, they're the.
I'm looking
point
for
of the
Jace.
spear.
I'm looking for Jace to get
I
away.
was gonna say Jace White's right in there with them
He
them
is.
too, you know, and
And the points don't really reflect that side of it because Jace missed 2 rounds in there, so he didn't go to Tennessee, and then he went to Iowa. No, he didn't go to Iowa.
no,
Yeah,
Didn't go to
they've been
Iowa.
going to some rounds.
Yeah.
So if he shows up at one of those races, that's going to be a prediction of mine.
Okay.
Jace White, top of the box.
Yeah, I just know that bent round that's a long haul for them. I remember saying,
Yeah.
"Hey man, why didn't you cut me?" He's like, "Yeah, it was a long ways." But yeah,
Straight south.
yeah, straight south through 15 states, and you'll be there all the way from Wisconsin. I like them all. They're all my friends. I talked to all of them.
Yeah.
I had a good feeling
This
about
isn't a slide on anybody.
Yeah,
you know?
I had a good feeling about Garrett going into Pine Lake, and it didn't. Maybe I jinxed him. I hope not, but got a 4th, and then the head pop bolt, something with the head pop messed up for him. But it's gonna be good. I'm here for it. I'm excited.
I know Forest's not where Garrett wants to be, but at Pine Lake against those guys, man, you can't really hang your head on a 4th. 'cause
That's
No.
right.
dude, that class is just
It's insane.
It is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Those guys they're on it right now.
They are next level good. So Yeah, next round will be Benton for our Midwest people. And as of now, still on. Weather looks to be hot as all get out. So bring lots of water.
Start hydrating now.
Start hydrating now. That's the key, man. Hydrate up as Landon pounds the Gator Light. And I have
You
a
should
bottle of water.
definitely have 110% nutrition over that Gator garbage.
Gator garbage. Well, tell you what, man. Let's jump over.
What was the code?
Use our code REMAIN at checkout to save. That's kind of my running joke these days for anything.
So over to the neat world. We would be coming up on Muskingum the next round here, but
That's true.
due to some weather, I think a really good call by Tristan Moran at Muskingum County Speedway, going to postpone that to maybe a date in October, I think is what I saw.
Looking in October.
So people were preparing for the neat round there, but it looks like we're going to postpone a little bit. But I think we're right at the midway there. So Pine Lake breaks us right to the midway point, and I'm sure as far as Pro and Pro-Am are concerned, CJ is leading the way there. But one Mr. Tyler King is he is going to make a run here. He's going to have something to say about that the rest of these rounds.
Tyler King unleashed a little something there at Pine Lake, and I think it is going to be very, very nice for my man, Mr. King.
Absolutely.
But in the pro class, Garrett hasn't lost. Let me jump into the Pro-Am class. There's been 3 rounds, and our man, Mr.
CJ. Hold on.
CJ.
Yeah, you're throwing me off. You're like, Garrett. See, I'm
Sorry.
confused.
CJ's, I take that back. I don't remember which round this was. What was because that would have been Pine Lake. That would have been Dresden. What was right before Dresden? Was that the Tennessee race?
Yep.
Yep.
So
Just passing through.
Just passing through. That's right. Jace won the Pro-Am Open class. So Garrett has. So how about this? Our team from the 90 race, and Jace White are the only people to knock Garrett off the top of the box this year.
CJ.
That's what I said. Sorry,
Never
Garrett.
even
I
missed
got a
a
good
beat.
feeling, man.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we tried to pat her back like CJ hadn't been beat this year.
Well, Jace did it.
Jace did it.
Yeah.
That a boy, Jace.
In the neat series. And then I know on the Midwest side at the Sykes round, I think Open Pro, CJ got a 3rd. Which CJ, you're still doing awesome. This is not a knock
you're still
on
a
you,
man on
but,
fire.
I mean,
That's for
when you
sure.
run the number 1, you got the target. So
That's right.
But yeah, CJ is leading all 3 of those classes over there on the Midwest side. And what's cool, dude, this just gives me, I just love this. Brad Riley is still 2nd.
Yep.
I mean, he's so stinking good and still good. Still riding well, He's 2nd in all 3 classes as well.
Nice.
And also, get this, in the Pro-Am Spec Tire class, if my internet would speed up here a little bit, I know in Pro class, Garrett is 3rd.
Okay.
3rd in Pro class for the Neat Series, and I'm currently hung up to find out where Garrett is at. Garrett is 5th. So in the Spec Tire, it's CJ, Brad, Chucky. How cool is that? Brad and Chucky have literally been battling for
20 plus years.
20 plus years, and here they are. They just find themselves,
I love it.
Aaron's tied with Chucky in 3rd, and then Garrett's would be in the 5th spot there. But I'm with you, dude. Watching like the Element 44 machine of Tyler King, they've made some changes, and it came to light at Pine Lake, and and Tyler is very happy with it.
You could tell. I understand why.
So what's
Definitely
left for
understand.
the Neat Series?
The Neat Series still has, so if they make up the Dresden round,
Yeah.
but if not, after that would be Owasso.
Owasso
Okay.
Motorsports Park
Yeah.
up in Michigan.
The 2nd Pine Lake.
So that'll be a double header. They'll have
At Owasso.
at
Yeah.
Owasso.
On
That's
Labor Day
correct.
weekend.
Yeah.
That's right. They'll race Saturday and Sunday. Well, short track Friday,
Yeah.
race Saturday,
Which
race
that's
Sunday.
a unique short track.
Mhm.
Because it's real small,
Mhm.
but it's really banked and actually pretty fast.
Yeah.
So they do like a little special format on that oval. So that'll be pretty cool. Short track, I should say.
Short track. That's
Short
right.
track. I'm a T-tier, not a short tracker.
That's right.
Mm.
But that's cool.
Makes
I know.
me cramp up if I just lean left.
Yeah. I know Jake Turner and some of his crew, like they basically run that one up there. And I know Sean's got a whole crew, but Jake's a big part of that Owasso program. So up there on the golf course. So yeah, they for sure have 2 scheduled that are left. And then if they can work in the other Dresden round, but you think about that card track, like I'm sure people are going, well, what about all these open weekends we have? And it's like, well, that's a top level dirt track for that part of the country, for any part of the country, and so they probably have to work around, sprint cars and late models and IMCAs and all the.
I'm with you.
All the other stuff
I'm
too.
picking up what you're putting down.
So stay tuned. If we hear something, we'll definitely get the word out and share it on social media and whatnot. And
That's
let you know.
true. Yep.
But man,
how about women's and super mini?
Okay.
Let's look over at some points there, and let's kind of talk about what we think is going to shake out for the rest of the year over there in the women's and super mini.
All right. Well, I'll jump to super mini first.
Yeah, that's where I wanted you to go first because that class has been shuffled around.
Different winner every round.
Absolutely.
The guy leading the points hasn't won a race.
Mr. Consistent.
Waylon Dial is leading the points.
Wow.
Well, Ty.
No, he
sorry.
won at Tennessee, I think.
Second. Now, he may have won Shifter or the All-Star.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I remember hearing his name winning one.
Okay. All right. Well, this is I'll scroll over there next. But in the super mini class, it's Waylon Dial. He's actually tied with Corbin Beasley,
Okay.
JB Mod.
Yeah, that's right.
And Corbin has got to win. And then Carson Everly in third. Oh, and Dallas Martin are tied for third. So we've got a tie for first and a tie for third. And the points are 68, 68, 66, 66. And then in fifth place is Burchett with 60.
Wow.
So, I mean, like that is super close. And then Mason Turner's at 50. Dude,
that's some tight racing right there.
That's
I don't even think I can make a call on that other than one of those individuals will be your champion at the end of the year. I mean, like you can't even predict that class really.
And there's enough of them in there though that every race could probably have a different winner.
Yes.
Enough of them that are
like
have the potential.
Listen to these results. So I'm just going to go down. Dial second, sixth, second. Beasley fourth, first, fourth. Everly first, fourth, seventh. Martin, 7th, 3rd, 1st. Burchett, 13, 2nd, 3rd. So that's something to watch. He has been super consistent here the last couple rounds as Burchett. I think he's figuring out that JB mod.
Yeah, I bet you're right.
Yeah. And then Mason Turner is
that
8th,
cereal
5th,
with
5th.
that Dragon Racing fuel in it. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Those results are just all over the place.
Oh, I know, man. It's exciting as all
It
get
is
out.
exciting.
Okay, let's jump over to All-Star, okay? So here, Waylon Dial does have a win at Tennessee, yeah. But here, 3 different winners. Beasley's leading the points with 69, followed by Mason Turner at 65. Tied for second is Carson Everly with 65. Second, and 2 guys tied for second. Neither one of them have won a race yet, which is crazy. Waylon Dial's in fourth with a first, 6th, 9th. Dallas Martin has a 6th, 7th, and 11th. And then Burchett has a 9th, a 16th, and a 1st. I mean, it's all over. This is awesome, dude.
Hey, I'm sorry. I was laughing. I'm over here looking. He's squinting.
I gotta.
Wait. He needs some.
Here we go.
Needs
some little readers.
reading glasses.
Need some readers. Oh, he's pulling them out.
He needs some readers over there.
Joke's on you.
Joke's on you, jerks. I got readers. Here we go. Oh, hey, there's the numbers.
Oh,
I can see
hey,
them now.
I can read. I can see clearly now. My readers are on.
Dude, I went to the side note here. Went to the eye doctor probably 5-6 years ago, and I walked in, and I'm expecting to see my normal eye doctor, who is like my mom's age. And so I'm sitting there, and this lady walks in, and I'm like, oh, she must be lost or something. And she said, hi, I'm Dr. Davis. And yada, yada. And I'm like, what? What? And I'm like, did you just like come straight from high school? Like, are you interning, or you got like a, what's it? And she, no, I'm married, got 3 kids. And I'm like, this lady looks younger than me, and she's my eye doctor. It was a real humbling moment. And then she's looking, and she said, well, Daniel have, she does all the 1, 2, the eye exam thing. And then she said, hey, have you ever thought about reading glasses? And I said, no, I ain't thought about no reading glasses. And she said, well, you might want to. And I just got up and left. I said, I'm not letting some young whippersnapper run up in here and tell me. And then the next year she comes in, she said, well, she's kind of are we ready for those readers? And I was like, not yet. And so this last time, she just doesn't say anything. And I said, I went and bought some cheapos from the grocery store, okay? And she said, well, I was wondering how you were able to read anything. Like far out stuff, you're golden, man. But I'm worried up close you can't read the newspaper. And I said, yeah, it's been a little tough. But hey, thanks to the readers, we're good to go.
Good to go.
Anyways, Super Mini and All-Star for the NEAT series. For either series, dude, oh, man, it's so good. So good. I'm glued wherever they're at. I'm watching.
I agree.
It is so much fun.
Definitely the ones to watch. That is 100% right.
But yeah, let's switch it up over here to the women's class. And so one of our Midwest racers, Miss Beth Clayton, put out. She's having some health things, some things going on with her back and her neck, and so she's done. She's hanging up the boots, and she'll definitely be around. You'll definitely see her. Probably at the races, but just she said physically, I've got these bad headaches, and I don't want to take a chance. And and it was, and you could tell, it wasn't normal Beth at Pine Lake because she's such a good starter. And then she kind of got gobbled up there, and I was like, and then it wasn't, a week or so later, she's like, man, I've been fighting this, and have gone to some doctors, and so we wish the best for Beth for sure. But I mean, women's class is, torch. Is literally torching.
Yeah, always got that flame firing.
But Beth is she'll be in second, so that'll probably, fall off there. Followed by Tori McCoy, Jess Reichman. They are tied for third right now.
Okay, all right.
Then Andrea Creech, Alexa Scott, Katie Boyer, Bailey Thomas, Tess Martin, and Taylor Underwood are your top 10.
Wow.
So, yeah. And Paula Quick there in 11th missed the first two, or nobody raced the first one. Black Ankle got rained out.
That's right.
Didn't make the trip to Tennessee, and so she's got a 5th and a 10th. And I think she got in one of those restarts that was red flagged at Pine Lake, she had to go to the back row. I do remember that. So she came from the back to 10th. I do remember that because I was like, what happened? Because in the first one, she had a great start. She's right up there. So... Anyway, dude, this is another great class to watch.
Absolutely.
You never know.
I can't wait to see what shakes out there between Tori and Jess.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be good.
Hey, another fun class, if I can get this to load up for our NEAT series, is that junior 12 to 15.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, we were talking because several of the Super Mini Youth All-Star guys that we're connected with and know. There's several of those boys that are fixing to age out of that. Like they're fixing to have to move up. And so they're talking, okay, do we what do we go with? And it seems like kind of the thing that's oh, get this. Oh man, this is awesome. In the junior 12 to 15, 3 different winners.
Okay. Yeah.
And Wes Stanley has a 4th, a 2nd, and a 2nd, and is leading the points. Isn't that awesome, dude?
That is
I love
awesome.
It. And so this is going to be kind of fun to watch and see what a lot of these guys do, because Wes and Astor Bures are on TRXs, Dylan Jones is on a Yamaha, and then Trevin White is now rocking his CRF in that class too. Aubrey Walker's in 5th. She's riding a KTM 350. Her best finish was when she was on a Yamaha. So
wow, what do we see something different happening there?
And Taylor, we may want to move to Yamaha. So this is pretty, man. This is gonna be a fun one to watch too.
Yeah, I do agree.
In that junior, what other class do these guys? Oh, the 200-400 class. So what I was saying was a lot of these guys are fixing to age out of this class, and so that's what they're trying to do.
And for all you
northerners
out there fixing to, we'll just break that down a little bit for you.
They are Fitting.
Yeah, like that's what we do around here. We're fitting to do something.
Yeah,
we're fixing. Like
making fun of my glasses.
We're not. No, I'm not
making
making.
fun of my words.
Fixing.
I say fixing too. I just wanted to bring some clarification to our northern friends because they probably think when you're fixing something, like you're getting your sockets set out, your wrench is out, you're gonna fix something.
I have had about enough.
But what we're fixing to do here in the South, that means we're about to, like we're preparing, we're getting ready, we're fixing to.
And that also means, that could be now or it could be next month.
Yeah.
Fixing.
Yeah, we're fixing to, like that's about to happen right now. Or,
loose program.
yeah.
But a lot of the Youth All-Star Super Mini guys are about to get ready to move up, so they're going to go from the Fitna. So they're either going to go to like the KTM 350 platform. They can go to one of the 450 platforms and debore those to a 399. We talked about that with Dylan. We're like, how's that guy riding a Yamaha 450? I'm like, well, it's a YFZ 399.9, so it fits that limit and it fits their criteria, So here in the I'm in the 200 400 class. You've got, take your pick. What do you want to do? Because every combination of machine is right here in the top 5 of the points, in both of these classes, So, man, it's just one thing that's cool is to see, like, when your amateur program, like, they do the 16. So College Boy, Joey Mickley. Like, Joey's a great rider, he's got 2 wins. Crushing it. Braxton Gray's another guy that's getting after it. EP, we don't know how to say his name, so we just call him EP. And Eric got approval, so EP, I hope you're okay with that. I still don't know how to say his name. Eric.
He's been calling him EP for
forever. Yeah,
forever, and I've always wondered who that was.
EP, ZZ Top, all those guys. But one thing that's cool is, like, this College Boy. Like, this is the next group of guys, And then right under this group, you've got the Wes Stanley, the Dylan Jones, Aubrey Walker, And then underneath that group, you've got the Mason Turner, Dallas Martin, Carson Everly, all these guys. Like, for the next several years, if these guys stay with it and the family's like, hey, this is our thing, dude, the pro class is just fixing to keep reloading. And
Absolutely.
That is awesome to see.
Yeah. That is very exciting for the future.
So excited for that.
As we're talking about last names, so when I was in Kentucky, I don't know if y'all remember Cody Kohlenschmidt. Anyway, he was a really good rider. Best friends with Daniel Epley. Raced. He always had a super nice machine. But we were talking about this weekend. He was talking. My uncle used to call the races. He announced, and he said it was his favorite. He would just draw out my last name. And I said, I've got a new level of respect as we've called these lives. And I'm like, you see some of these names, and you're like, oh, I don't even know how to start to pronounce that. But anyway, Cody was like, can you remember looking at the back of my jersey? Can you remember how to spell it? I'm like, no, I had the first handful of letters, but Kohlenschmidt is quite the last name. But Cody K always had a sweet machine for sure.
Well, and there's one, I jumped over here to the pro light points, and Nick Keys, Kehs.
Yeah.
Because I remember and that's the number 11 machine of Nick there on the Honda. And they just started laughing, and he's like, Keys. And I'm like, that's not how you spell it. He's like, well, that's how you say it. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's great. But anyway, hey, pro light, dude, another good group of dudes over here. Of course, Robert Labello's not quite as young as he once was, but dude, Robert can still get around the track. Hey, no shame, brother.
That's
Robert
right.
knows what's
Keep it
up.
going.
Dakota Sidlowski, all these guys. Matt Miller, our guy from up there at Sugar Creek, Ohio, the number 1-2 on his Honda. I like
The flying Amishman.
the flying Amish. Dude, there's so many good things to pay attention to and watch. There's sometimes it's like, oh, we can kind of take a breather here. You really can't, man.
No, you're right. I mean, there's good competition in almost every class over there.
Right.
So,
I mean, the Masters 45 Club Plus had 3. They had to run an LCQ at Pine Lake. Like, that's insane. Like
It is insane.
They should look into doing like a 55 plus. I know Papa Bear would be like, let's make it 65 plus. Good grief,
True,
Dad.
it might be big enough to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what you got? What's up your sleeve? What are you thinking?
I don't have anything left up my sleeve. It's all things revealed here. The NEAT series is doing really well. Is this where we're going to bring in the Canebrake cause for concern?
Yeah.
Do we have any Canebrake causes for concern? Is there anything at the forefront of you gentlemen's mind?
Yeah, I got something.
You got something.
Being part, like going and watching, like the motocross side of things. And this is like I know, like we can't just like tomorrow do this, okay?
Okay.
And I know there's going to be an expense with it.
Okay.
Dude, they can run through a program.
Yes.
Like they're not even as one race as it's 3/4 of the way done with the lap, they're dropping the gate on the next one. Like now I know in motocross, like you can add water, and as the guys are racing, they're constantly kind of churning that up, mixing that up. Now I know there's some things like we can't do that on TT racing.
Right.
One, we don't have a gate.
Yep.
That would be weird. And then two, like when you put water down, things get real slickery. Like you gotta give it a little minute to soak in.
That's right.
But man, to watch them just a machine.
Be run on time. Hey, practice starts at 8:00. 7:58. Machines are fired and going.
Yes, and that's
So,
what
I
you
agree.
said. You said, "Hey, man, let's meet Saturday morning. We'll meet 7:30 for a little devotional, whatever."
Yep.
Loved it down there by the creek. And then I'm like, "Dude, we probably got like an hour or 2 or 10, you know." And this guy rides past us, and I'm like, "Oh, where's that guy going?" I get up to the line, and at 7:58, quads were firing up to start
That's right.
practice, and I was like, "What is happening?"
Yeah, it's no joke. I mean, they say they're going to do it then. It's going to happen then, and it's a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
And they've
It
got a
is
bunch.
nice.
I know they've got a bunch of class, and that's what if they had. In both of the TT series are kind of good about this. If there's two classes are kind of small, you know, they'll put them together, and that's as long as it makes sense. And they did that. They did that as well. But they would like stagger the starts.
Yeah.
So like the senior 45, they'd have the A drop the gate on the A guys, they take off, and then as they got about halfway back around the track, pop the gate back up
For the BC.
BC, take off, and I'm just like. And at first, my knee-jerk reaction was, "You can't do that. What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And I was talking to someone, and they were like, "Well, what happens if the A guys catch the C guys?" And I'm like, "Well, it's no different than catching anybody else. You know, it's the same thing." And they were like, "Oh," because I was like, "What happens if they catch them?" You know.
Yeah.
But anyways, just to watch how fine-tuned it was. Now,
I agree.
Now I know in TT there's some things you can't control, you know,
Right.
whatever. But dude, there was one there was a little kind of a little crash. I don't think it was anything serious, but they went ahead and got the rider on the cart, you know, just hey, let's just get him out of the way. Never stopped the race.
Oh, they had her gone in 5 minutes or less.
Medics came over, they put out the Red Cross flag that way, hey, got to roll through this section. It was right there in the sand where we were. Everyone went far.
Right. So
Had enough track workers that way they could keep caution flags out around the track if they needed them. But had guys there to say, hey, you know, ride over here, give us some space. The medics had plenty of room. Got the bike over, got it out of the way, got the rider on the cart, and never stopped the race. And I'm like, that is amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying we're doing anything wrong. It's just.
Well,
We could be a little more efficient.
What is more efficient?
Yep.
What is better? How do you improve?
Yep.
So, I mean, that is a great point, Super D. It really is.
Yep.
And you mentioned it. There are factors to think about here. My dad and I were having this conversation, like the water, obviously.
Yep.
TT racing, it's hard to control the dust there in the middle of the day. So you do have to have some pausing there. Mm-hmm. But I do believe one solution to that is our pre-staging situation. We should have guys on the line ready to go when the white flag. The guys should already have their tires heated. They should sit there as the white flag is out. So as the checker rolls, they should be going down the line. It shouldn't be the checker goes and they're leaving the track, then those people are picking their gate spots. We should have the tracks designed in a way that they pull into their spot I mean, every time, if you save 2 to 3 minutes right there, think about that.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
in the course of the day, that's huge. That's huge for a program, and that timely program is good. It is. Now, it's going to be tough because of the watering situation.
Right.
I was like, well, what if, these tracks made sure and they watered for a week ahead of time? They don't wait till race weekend to water, get good moisture in the ground. And that's it. I mean, that would improve it. He did that, but he said it's also a challenge. Those machines just, dry it out and it gets dusty.
The sunshine, the wind, all that. I mean, you're fighting Mother Nature.
So then you have to factor in the certain areas, like obviously you don't need to be racing in the South in August. I mean, that is impossible, right? So the more southern states, those rounds need to be earlier on and then move north,
right?
As the year progresses, I guess. Yeah. But yes, good point.
Something we could control is transponders. Why do we not have any transponders?
Like I said, I know there's some expense with this. And
I get it.
If we need to, like Emily works at the bank, they have a room down there at the bank full of money. Like it's just a giant room. I'm sure she could. I'm sure she could just walk. Do you think they keep count of every dollar? There's no way, right? So just let me.
He may be going about it wrong, but
maybe. But I'm just saying, like, even if, like, hey. Beginning of the year, like it's going to be an extra, I don't know, $10, $20. Like I don't know.
That's the thing. So GNCC does it this way. You can base it off of that. I don't know, but you can either buy your transponder up front, beginning of the year,
or just rent it per round.
If you don't think you're going to do the whole series, rent it. I think it's like, I want to say last time I went, it was like you pay $60 up front, and then it's a $10.
Yeah, when you take it back,
but
you
when
get
you
50
take
back.
it back, you get your money back. So it's like $10.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
That's not bad.
So
yeah.
I mean, and then that takes all the guesswork out of it.
And that's what I was like. How are they able to do this?
You still have to have scorers.
You do, but you don't have to have as many.
I do agree with that. But we did transponders back in the day.
I remember that.
At the track, at Mom and Dad's track, but they still had a couple sets of scorers, like two different pairs, just because. It's electronic. I mean, I know
things can mess up.
I know that things have improved since then. I mean, technology has improved, but computer systems can fail. Somebody doesn't charge their transponder. There are different factors like that. I mean, I'm just kind of playing the other side of the card a little bit, and you guys think it's a great idea. I love the lap time. I love the live scoring. You could go online and you could see what's going on.
Or another thing we was talking about, and Sean, Brian, Beth, who like, hey, we're here to help. Like,
yeah,
I'm not.
That's right.
Our job at Remaining Race
saying
is not
you're doing a bad job, because obviously you're doing a good job.
Yeah, but however we can help, like I'm here for it. I want it to grow. I want it to get better.
Well, we were having a conversation beforehand about shocks. Anything chassis wise, motor wise, shocks wise, you're continuing to develop and make it better and better and better. You're never just complacent of like, oh, this is what it is. We want to make the program the best that it could possibly be. So that's what we're doing with this section.
And even like for registration, like you got the same group coming to the majority of your rounds. You could do a Google form. I mean, we could put together a Google form. We could put together hey, just email us, just so on race day you're not taking 2 hours for registration. You know, I mean, hey, you need like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So just little, and like I said,
you're just trying to streamline the system. Let's streamline the system from top to bottom. Would really be good.
But I just couldn't believe that. Like, hey, if you want to practice, come on Friday night. You're 99% of the people do anyway. But if you want like some extended practice, come on Friday night. That is practice. And then Saturday morning, you get 3 laps, depending on, like, you've got your mini guys, your super mini, A, B, C, get a sticker, whatever it is, that way you don't have, like, the 50s out there with the pros, whatever it is. You get 3 laps of practice and then and then as soon as that's over, water the track, bam. Like, I don't know what that start time is. Say you do your registration from, 8:30 to 9, and at 9 o'clock you're starting practice. Little riders meeting, practice, bam, and just get after. I mean, I was like, dude,
It is.
As a TT raiser, like we should take some notes because these guys don't mess around.
That's
and
right.
I asked Landon, I said, how many flaggers do you think are out here on the track? And he was like, 20. And now, granted, again, motocross, TT are different, apples and oranges here.
Way bigger track, yeah.
Bigger track, blind jumps, things like that. But I was like, man, dude, if we had, and Pine Lake does a good job about this. They have lots of flaggers just to help keep things. And if there was a red flag, hey, don't run out on the track with a caution flag waving it at the guys. You know what caution means? Slow down. Even if you're waving it frantically, I'm just going to slow down. But if, like, the guy in the first turn had a red flag, then that means, hey, let's go back to the start. That way you're not making a lap and a half and then going, oh, we're restarting, so just some little things like that. But in the MX world, they ain't restarting nothing.
They're going.
They are going. They don't have time.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this is pretty cool.
Run a tight ship over there.
Yeah. So I don't know if these are cause for concerns, but it is definitely can we have a conversation? The Canebrake, can we have a conversation?
The Canebrake, can we have a conversation? I like it.
Mm-hmm.
That's sticky.
Yeah. And if you want to, I don't know, get deeper in the weeds, it could be this cause for concern could lead to a conversation.
There you go.
It's getting late. I'm getting off the rails here. But
I'm going to keep listening. This guy ate all his Happy Meal. He found his
right,
hole.
I
He
did.
ate all his fries.
I even got them fries in the bottom of the bag. You get those few little stray guys that fall out, and it's like, oh, I'm out of fries. And then you dip your hand down in there, and it's like, the party's not over. They may be cold and soggy, but they still have French fry. So,
If they're
anyways,
McDonald's, they'll still be there. They'll be good the next year still.
be good 10 years from now. Yeah. Yeah. I don't eat McDonald's, though, because I'm a chiseled specimen of a man and take care of my body. We definitely didn't eat Taco Bell on the way home
No.
from the race. It's getting weird. We've been after it for about an hour. Y'all got anything you want to add? Love Loretta's.
So.
Midwest series coming up. It's going to be a good one there in Benton. And then, like, the next weekend will be Owasso
That's right.
for the NE-EDT series. So
Yep.
lots of good racing coming up. Enjoy this weekend. Do what you got to do. And then we're going to get after it the next 2 weekends in a row. It's going to be fun. All right. Wrap us up, Mitchell.
All right. Father God, thank you for this day. Thank you for another opportunity to give you honor and glory. Thank you for loving us, for providing for us. Pray for our listeners, for protection, God, as they travel to the next few races, that you'll just watch over them and then just bring us all back together. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Well, that's a wrap on the Danny episode, number 56. So, hey, y'all come back and catch the next one. We'll see you then.